Hey YouTube, what's up? So I want to revisit and talk about Normani and colorism in the music industry again. And like the previous video that I did about this was kind of like on a rant, and I also missed some things that I wanted to talk about, a few, and also kind of wanted to respond to like a comment or two, that came up in the previous video that I did. All right, so let's get into this, okay? First and foremost, do dark-skinned women really want to win? I don't know. And where I'm coming from with that statement is sometimes I think dark-skinned women don't want to. I know that's a bit of a blanket statement. I'll say some, as a collective perhaps. I don't know if they really want to do all that it takes to quote unquote win. And what I mean by that is in the previous video that I posted, I talked about Normani perhaps using a love interest who was a little more, basically a racially ambiguous love interest, right? And, a female, perhaps maybe a couple, oddly enough, had some issues with that. And they felt like, Normani needs to be promoting quote unquote black love. Here's the thing with that. Normani, to me, I feel like she is obligated to represent darker skinned women only. Okay? Not darker skinned men, not black love. Don't put all those expectations on her, especially when those same expectations aren't put on darker skinned men. Because when you see them in their music videos, they're making sure they have a variety of women in the music videos. And as far as their love interest in the music videos, a lot of times it's not reflective of them as far as phenotype is concerned. They're not. Are they pushing this quote unquote black love narrative, this black love agenda? And this is kind of like what I'm saying with this whole, do the dark skinned women really, like, do they really want to do what it takes to win? And I don't know if they're willing to really get out of that comfort zone, you know. And as well, when you're a music artist, marketing kind of matters. Well, marketing matters a lot. And I'm not trying to act like I just know everything that I have experience in the music industry, because I don't. All right. But, I've been around for a minute. I've seen musical acts come and go for a while. I've seen musical acts shoot to the stars, right? And flop, and drop like mops. And, I've seen some things. I've seen a couple of things, all right? And I just felt the need to really say that, all right? Don't put those expectations on Normani to represent and promote quote unquote black love, right? Especially from black women. Like, really? Like, no, she needs to promote black women, darker skinned black women in her music videos. I think she needs to make sure she has like really good looking, backup dancers who are brown skin and dark skin, right? But then again, maybe even that, I don't know, because I know like when it comes to non-black like musical acts in general, when it comes to their backup dancers, they do tend to have a variety of different colors, quote unquote, different races and ethnicities and whatnot when it comes to the backup dancers, at least from what I've seen, right? Beyonce kind of does that, and I think Rihanna does that, But then again, perhaps Normani could perhaps do that, you know, perhaps. But the thing is, I was talking about the love interest. I wasn't talking about the backup dancers, you know. Um, but I will say Normani should probably take a lesson from the darker skinned men, Because I think partially a, a big part of the reason why they do it, as far as like, you know, this whole like different races and ethnicities and, you know, the light skinned chicks and whatnot, is it kind of helps usher them in a way. It's almost like a cosign in a way, right? And it does get other groups of folks interested in looking at the music video a bit more, because there's different varieties of women in the music video, right? And you know, when you market, you want to market yourself. Well, is Normani, that's the thing, is Normani supposed to be marketed to a specifically black audience? If so, then I will say yes, she just needs to stick with, you know, quote unquote, uh, dark skinned, brown skinned folks all the way through, right? But if she's trying to be marketed to, like, quote unquote, the mainstream, I don't know why I'm saying quote unquote, but if she's trying to market herself to the mainstream, yeah, mainstream media and mainstream audience, then, well, I think she's going to have to change things up a bit. You know, in my opinion, I just think that she's going to have to do something that will send the message that she is open to different groups and different people. Because I think that's part of the issue too when it comes to darker skinned black women, where it's like they don't seem like they're perhaps are open to other groups of people, whether it's comes to love interest or perhaps even friends. You know, um, sometimes, and again, these are people on. This is perhaps the view on the outside looking in. You know, I think that's how non-black folks perhaps would look at it. You know, and I think right now Normani's like major pushing that she's getting is primarily from black women. You know, and you know that's good to have black women supporting, but in order to really, you know, be a superstar or a megastar, you got to have more than just black women supporting you, though. All right. Next, I want to talk about Camila Cabello. I meant to talk about her in the last video, and I'll say that I don't particularly care for Camila Cabello, because I think she has said some racist things in the past, used some very disparaging, racially charged, offensive pejoratives um, directed at African American and black folk. All right. And as well, like her fan base had like, I remember that shit too. Her fan base had attacked Normani once because Normani had said like all these like, you know, deep, I guess, philosophical type descriptions about the other girls, but then when it came to Camila, she said, "Oh, you know, she likes to shop or she's fashionable or something like that," and they got offended by that and they thought it was shade, and then they like photoshopped a picture of Normani over like a photo of her face on a lynching victim. Like they dug up a photo of someone, probably a postcard. These these fucking cave beasts probably do got some damn Negro lynching postcards that they got from their grandparents or something. But they dug up some photo of some black person being lynched and photoshopped Normani's face onto it. You know, so, and I don't think Camila Cabello spoke out about that, against that, saying, "Hey, like, no, that's not cool. Don't do that." So, you know, Camila Cabello, for me, you know, canceled. You know, so when I hear, you know, that song, you know, Havana Ooh Na Na, you know, I'm like, Havana No No No, and changing the station. All right. But I will say that there is one song that she has with somebody, and it's out right now. I forgot who though. But it's like they're talking about um, Gucci or something. It's a catchy song, but I gotta turn the song because I can't support Camila Cabello. But when it comes to that song, I'm like, damn it, I gotta change the song, and I want to listen to the song too. But I'm like, I can't support, Camila Cabello, right? So I say all that bullshit to say that when it comes down to Camila Cabello versus Normani, I would say that I think that Camila Cabello has better songs. I've never seen Camila Cabello perform live though. I have seen one live clip of Normani. Um, and, it kind of got me, you know, thinking like, okay, she could possibly turn me into a believer, because I was definitely counting her out as far as perhaps having like, the it factor, X factor, wow factor, stage presence type of thing. I'm like, okay, maybe she might be able to do something here. Maybe. It was like her from the Billboard Awards back in 2018 with Khalid. Yeah. And, I think she put on a great performance and really helped save the performance in a way, too, because, that dude Khalid and his vocals when he was starting, I'm like, he might have should have lip synced. You might have should have just lip synced that shit. All right. But thankfully, Normani helped save the day. She came and saved the day for him. All right. What else I forgot to talk about? Oh yeah. So when it comes down to Camila Cabello or Normani, I would choose Normani, but more so out of like a combination of default and being race first, you know. But if Camila Cabello wasn't like a bigot, then I probably would be more likely to gravitate towards Camila Cabello based on the songs. But to be fair, I've never seen the live performances though. Um, the few songs that I have heard from Normani, I don't know, they haven't really captured me except for maybe Love Lies. I think I didn't even know that she was on that song. I didn't even know that was her singing the song. So yeah, that song probably is the one song that probably has like captured my attention. Like, okay, this is kind of catchy and something. Let's see. Next, I want to talk about something as far as like dark-skinned women in the music industry and kind of like how they are viewed, so to speak, by society and just dark-skinned women in general. Okay, and when it comes to the music industry, it's for women especially. It's largely about sex appeal, not 100% of the time. I mean, you do have acts like, say, Adele, you know, who don't really go down that route, you know, for one reason or another, probably because she can't. But a lot of times, sex appeal does play a factor and play a role in the success of female artists, especially, and also even male artists too, but especially female artists, because you know a lot is placed on a lot of value is placed on beauty when it comes to women and looks. It's just unfortunately that's just how society is structured, right? So I say that to say that I think that perhaps is a factor at play where it's like, okay, y'all remember back a while ago, Mimi Foss from Love and Hip Hop, right? She did a sex tape, or sold a sex tape, like filmed and sold a sex tape to like I think Vivid Entertainment or some adult film company. Her sex tape sold for $250,000. All right. Now y'all remember that teen mom, Farrah Abraham, right? She did a sex tape too. Her sex tape sold for $1 million. So compare Mimi Foss' $250,000 to Farrah Abraham's $1 million. Why do you think there's such a such a large margin in difference in pay between those two women, because they're basically doing the same thing, right? And they even set up Farrah Abraham with a well-known male adult film actor. For Mimi, that wasn't the case. So again, and I think this comes down to marketing. I know this like this example is a bit much, but I think this does sort of demonstrate kind of like quote unquote the value that people are placing on, say, black women in terms of marketability and sellability versus non-black women, and in this case a white woman, when it comes to marketability and sellability, or being able to sell. And and sidebar, y'all remember when everyone was obsessed over that scene where Mimi was using that shower rod? That was like all over like Facebook. And it was like, they know some people gonna be trying this, and like, don't try this at home and mess up your shower rod. And also, she was acting like the sex tape got leaked. And then people were like they know that was set up just for the fact that the shower rod was just so sturdy. Like, whose shower rod is that sturdy? So obviously they planned this. But that was a bit of a sidebar. But let's get back to business, though. All right, another thing I want to bring up is black beauty versus non-black beauty. All right, so I think non-black beauty appeals to more women than black beauty, and I think that is because I think black women's beauty tips are so specific to them, while non-black women, and perhaps some like light-skinned mixed biracial women, like their beauty tips are more like accessible to other groups of women, for lack of a better word. Think about it, you know. You as a brown-skinned, dark-skinned black woman, would the beauty tips that are for white women work for you? You know? And I think that plays a factor too. I mean, look at these beauty gurus, right? Usually the beauty gurus who are really popular tend to probably be non-black, or at least non-black adjacent, right? And I say all this to say that I think one reason why some groups of people, particularly women, may not be so quick to support black female artists is because perhaps they feel like they can't really perhaps relate to them. They can't see themselves reflected in them. They perhaps don't want to, live vicariously through them. Perhaps, that's something to think about too. But last but not least, I heard on the internet streets that Normani will be the opening act for Ariana Grande's Sweetener tour. So is this a good thing or a bad thing? I would say, like, on one hand, it could be a good thing because Ariana Grande is really popular. But perhaps it's like, is Normani marketable to the same audience that is interested in Ariana Grande? Or would she be more suited for perhaps being the opening act for perhaps like Drake or the Amigos or, what else we could say? Some other hip-hop artists out there, right? Cardi B, maybe. Nah. But just throwing that out there, do you think that would work for her? Like, Ariana Grande's tour, or perhaps some like male hip hop artist tour, or whatever. If Nicki Minaj was still popping, perhaps that could work for her. I don't know. Well, I think I've said all I have to say for the moment, so thanks for watching. Feel free to comment. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comment section. And I'll catch you in the next video. Adios and goodbye for now.